Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? It's Superfiend here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster Whacky World. Here's our little pirate animatronics shooting their guns. What's going on in here? Last episode, we added the Kraken animatronics and just a couple triggers to the ride, so that as let's see, the other ride is right there. As it comes flying around through about here, there's some tentacles down here that get activated underneath this. There's some more tentacles over here, and then as they go around the loop, the Kraken pops out from his hiding spot right over here. There he is. Real handsome guy. Okay, and so this episode, we are going to continue decorating inside of here. And one thing I want to do is I want to put like a little island right here, because adding a little island here is going to bring the terrain up, and we can get the top of the terrain a little bit higher, and that's going to serve two purposes. One, when you're over here, like when you're getting off the ride. Okay, so let's deselect the ride so that it's not all highlighted. If we can put like a wall of terrain here, it's going to hide the Kraken animatronic. So the only way you get to really see the Kraken is if you go on the ride. Kind of like helps to keep the suspense. And the other purpose it will serve, if we can go down here, is all these track supports. There are tons of track supports here, and frankly it's kind of ugly. And this is all one prefabricated loop from the built-in pieces, and so we have two choices. Either we keep the prefabricated one, or we try to build one of our own. And trust me when I say that if we try to build one of our own, it's going to take a lot of time, and it's just not going to be quite as good. Although I'm sure we could kind of get it there. But you can't turn off individual track supports in here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 6 track supports that are all part of this loop. So if we raise the terrain off the ground, some of these supports are going to stick to that higher terrain instead of going into the water here. And it will grant the illusion, or create the illusion, that there's actually less supports than there really are. And we can also put some, like a pirate and maybe a boat or something, as if he's shipwrecked on this little island, and maybe add a tentacle coming up out of the water to attack him every now and then. And that's where we could put the little pirates with the guns, like they're shooting at a tentacle. So on this side, when you're in the paths and all this stuff, you can see the animatronics and you can see the little island, but you can't see the Kraken unless you go on the ride. So that's kind of the idea. Let's see if we can do it. Let's just make a bigger brush. And first, I'm just going to flatten to foundation here. It's kind of hard to see, what exactly is going on because there's no light in here, basically. All right, so now all the terrain in there is flat, and chances are we're going to have to move some of these lights. Let's see, how many lights are there? So some of these lights may need to be moved as we lift the terrain, because the terrain may come up and bury the lights, and we don't really want that. Okay, bigger brush, we're going to pull. And we actually just kind of want to pull it just a little bit above the water. Okay, and that was just a little bit above the water. And now we're going to flatten, and we'll go smaller. Okay, see, so you can see that it's already affecting the track supports, which is one of the reasons we're doing this. Okay. And let's see. Now, I kind of want to lift it again. Now, I want this track right here, to kind of be on the back side of a little cliff. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the brush size again. Okay, and we're going to pull all this up. And so you can see what's happening with the track supports as we do this. And actually, that track support got erased. Okay. And that's okay. We're going to go back in. We're going to clean all that up. Down, down, down. Okay. So let's fill in the underwater here. Funny how it seems like there's almost more light under the water than there is above. And no big deal if the lights are getting covered up. We'll be able to fix that. But we just want to bring this thing out so that it is a solid landmass. And that's more for my own OCD tendencies than anything related to the game. I can't just have like a solid block of land just floating there. I mean, I have to do it like this. And while we're at it, I might as well push this down a little bit. So that the Kraken is not actually like stuck in the ground. Even though like you can't see it and it doesn't really matter. It just kind of bugs me. Okay, there. So that's where the Kraken is. Now, let's see. Kind of want to lift this up a little bit more. And I kind of want to pull it out here a little bit more. Because then we can get these track supports on the back side of this. Yeah, see, it's kind of better. And let's see. That's about as much as I want to do that. And actually, before we start pushing terrain away, let's go ahead and use the roughen tool. And kind of see where this gets us. Because on the back, I want like a real jagged cliff. And on the front, like up in this area, I want it to be kind of rocky and kind of like a cliff. But then down here, I want to get it to be more of like a little sandy beach, if I can. And then right up here, up top, okay, this looks really stupid. Let's get rid of this. There we go. And this looks kind of dumb. So actually what we'll do is we'll just pull it out right there. Okay. Now up here, for the coaster supports, we'll go to a really small brush and we'll just flatten the foundation. And so that way it's like all the coaster supports are kind of on this even flat surface. Yeah, man. And I'd even like to get these two larger ones off of the ground right there, if we can. So we'll try and do that. And then this one here, we'll just bring this out until that coaster support lifts off the ground there. And then now we'll go under here. Probably need a little bit bigger than 1 meter. Okay. And then we'll go under this one and we'll kind of just pull this out a little bit. And you can't really see it the way the lighting is set up, but after we move the blue lights that are now buried in the terrain, it might show up a little bit better. And let's try to let's make like a little cliff here, a little protrusion. We'll do it over here also. Now that gets those off the ground. Okay, and let's see. Kind of make a little rock formation going down. There we go, like that. And then over here with this one, kind of do the same thing. Okay, and then down in here, we'll just push back just a little bit. And now with a very, very, very small brush, just kind of flatten all this out. Okay. And it doesn't look anything like the way I want yet, because we have to paint the terrain too. Okay, it'll really help when we go and we do our terrain painting. Now to light this surface up, we could add a couple floodlights, but before we get to that, let's roughen it again. Let's just do a little bit of roughening on these things. Okay, we'll fly in here and we'll kind of get the underside of them a little bit. Oop, don't like how that... Okay, there, that's a little bit better. Okay, so now we got this interesting rock formation on this side, and we can roughen up over here a little bit too. Okay, we got this interesting rock formation, and the water does not go up onto it, which is good. And what we need to do, okay, this is a little tricky, but what we want to do is we kind of want to create a little bit of a shoreline, kind of a smooth shoreline going into the water. So let's see. Yeah, see, that's not what I wanted. I want it to kind of... Okay, so that may or may not be underwater, but when we smooth between the higher part and the lower part, it should make it a little bit more gradual. Okay, and then now when we smooth, let's see what it does. Let's see, I kind of need this to go up just a tiny bit. So where is the water line at? It's kind of, okay, it's right about here. Actually, I want it a little bit further out. Okay, so now it's like right here. Okay, is about where it is. It's really hard to see. That's where it is. Now on this side, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to pull just a little bit and then smooth. I'm just going to create like a little sandy beach. And then we'll go underneath. And we'll expand this out just a little bit. And then we'll do this one. And then we'll smooth. And that's going to create the sandy beach on this side. Okay. To get a little bit of light in here, let's continue adding on to this building. And the first thing we're going to add is, I think, maybe a campfire. Okay, so our little intrepid explorers. Now let's see, where's a good spot for the fire? So we want to find a good focal point. Like, where could we put this? See, like over here is kind of okay. So we got a real nice line of sight through this little like tunnel archway here. From there, can't really see much from over here. You can kind of see a little bit over there. So like back in there is kind of good because you can see it from both spots. And then what about from over here? Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking like back here, right? We put the little fire back there. Okay. And then what else do we do? What else do we add? Let's get the one of these rowboats. Okay. And where is the water line at? Okay, it's right here. And so then we'll rotate it a little bit this way. And drag it up onto the beach. Except now the dirt's going through the bottom of it. Okay. So they got a little rowboat there. And it's kind of hard to see the rowboat, so one of the things that we can do to make it a little bit more prominent is put a lantern in it. Scenery. There's our lights. Okay, so we could do like an oil lamp. Yeah, just one of these oil lamps would be good. Okay, so if we just like set this in here. Or like up here. Let's see. I kind of think. Like right there. Or we could even get a small barrel. And we could put it on the barrel instead. And that kind of helps to light that up. So let's see what this looks like from over here. So you get this nice, nice view of some tentacles and the campfire. And you get the boat with the lantern over there. So you can kind of see what's going on. And I don't think we want to... oh, let's see. I don't think we want the full campsite. It's just too much going on there for the full campsite. So I think we just want the fire. I wish that we had like the option to get just a tent. You know, there are no small tents in the game. Like, these things are huge. This one's not so bad, but this just, it doesn't feel right to me. I wish we could do more like a you know, I wish we had some of these like this by itself with just a little tent, and then you could kind of just drape them yourself. Although, okay, well, let me click on that. If we go over to the I mean, could we get creative with one of these? Could we turn this into a tent? I suppose we could. Never really thought about trying that. You know, I suppose we could take a couple of these and let's see, what would it look like? If we put one there and then we duplicated it up to there, tilted it forward, tilt it forward some more. I want to line these up with the sticks here, with the posts. A little bit more. I mean, does that look like a tent? Not really, right? Doesn't really look like a tent to me. I don't like it. Okay. And let's see, what else do we need? We need to paint this. So let's go into the terrain and let's get our tropical rock. And we'll get a big brush and we're just gonna, you know, paint the whole thing. You know, that does kind of look kind of cool as all rock. Okay, and we'll paint everything over here too. We still have to fix this because it is going through the track, but that's okay. We'll get to it. And then we'll take this one and we'll lower it down, which is something we've been doing a lot in this series. And just kind of real quick, rapid strokes. Just to get a little bit of variation in there. We don't have to stress out over it because it's very dark in here anyways, and you really can't see much. Okay, now this is where it gets kind of fun. Now we got to make the shoreline. So let's see, we got this rock and we got this sand. So let's see, let's go ahead and start with the sand. And let's do 100% and we'll just make it a small brush. Okay. And we'll just go right up to the rock and everything else. Okay, and we'll just go through this pathway here. Okay, and it kind of blends down into the rock below. And we'll do it over here. And then around the corner here. And where exactly is the water again? It's right there. So we want to do it down to about here. Oops, that was a little too much up there. Okay. So now it looks nice and sandy in here. Really cool texture. Good job to Frontier for some of these textures. They are really convincing. Okay. Now we're going to go over to not this sand, but this this like rocky looking sand. So let's just see what it looks like real quick. Okay. Now we're going to undo that, and we're going to lower the intensity, and we're just going to kind of like, let's see, maybe we want a smaller brush, just right along here. Okay, so it's not quite this sand up here, and it's not quite this rock down here. Maybe a little bit more intensity. Okay. And then go do it over here. And we want to basically do it where the water is. So the water is right along here, right? Look at that. That looks so convincing. That's really cool. Okay. And we'll come over here and do it on this water. So like right in here. Just go back and forth like this. Okay, there's really not a lot of light over there, so it's hard to see. Let's just move this for a second over here so you can see what it looks like. Yeah, see, look at that. That looks convincing. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, but just in here where it meets up with the little rock, the rock going up. So just like right along here. Okay. And to me, I've said this before, but to me, it's really important to make use of these paint tools. And then with the custom biome, where you can bring in your own like 8 textures, whichever textures you want, it really, really makes a big difference in your terrain when you use these. You should be using these. If you want your terrain and stuff to look real, then definitely paint the ground, paint the rocks, paint stuff with these things. They really, whoops, that was a little too much there. Up here, it was too much. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then the other thing we could do is we could even, if we increase the intensity, and we do it like down here in this little pocket, watch what this does. Just a few pockets in here of high intensity rock. Suddenly it makes it look more realistic. Let's do that over in here, just in a couple spots. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So, I mean, look at how cool that looks. Let's go look at it from up here. That's very neat. That looks very convincing to me. You know, that there's this little island here in the middle of this big cavern, and my idea is that maybe we got some treasure hunters over there. So, and they didn't know that there was a big kraken. So let's take our treasure hunters here, these unfortunate souls, and we'll drop them over here. And so let's see. We want to take this guy, and we'll just have him. Now we could like cue this with the animatronic, but that's not going to help the people on the ride. You know, it's okay if he's shooting at nothing, basically, is what I'm saying, because the people on the ride they're never going to see him over here as they're flying by. They won't see him. This is more for effect for the people that are over here. So, you know, it's kind of better if he's always doing something. So what we'll do then is, let's see. Although I can't tell if the block is under the ground or above. Okay, it was below. So we're going to put him back here. We're going to put him like further back over here, and we'll rotate him a little bit. Okay, so he'll go there. And what about this guy? This guy, I guess we can kind of put him over here. And let's see, what else do we want to do to kind of sell this? Now we could add another tentacle that's not on a trigger. Okay, so if we just take one of these and we Control X, and we just kind of slide it over this way and this way, and if we lift it up, and then what we want to do is we want to rotate it. Rotate it this way, and then we'll switch to the world axes, because we really need to move it back now. Good grief, this thing is huge. Okay, so let's see. What does it end up doing? We want to see like if he's shooting at it, or, you know, what's it look like? Does it look like he's shooting at it? It kind of does. Is it clipping the ride? That's another important question. Kind of clips the ground a little bit. You know, I don't like that it's clipping the ground, but, you know, I mean, how much can we do with this, right? Let's put the angle snap on, and let's just try rotating it a little bit. Maybe we can make it so that it doesn't clip the ground so much. That looked pretty good. It looked like it kind of like slid off the ground. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, that's much better. That's pretty good positioning. It looks like he's shooting at it. Okay. So we'll accept that, and what we'll do is we'll just leave these untriggered, right? They're just always going. And I don't want to see the little block that you're standing on, so we'll put that there. And the only real problem is that it's clipping through here. So if we come out of the building and we edit the coaster, and then we turn off track supports right there. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, look at that. That looks cool. That's cool. I like it. Although, it'd be nice if we could get them kind of timed up so that they're, you know, he's only shooting when it comes out. But, I don't know. Maybe he's scared and he's just shooting blindly into the dark. You know, that works for me too. Where is it? Is it not going to run now? Oh, you know why? Because it probably, it has the activate on trigger thing. So we want to uncheck that so that it's always going. Okay. That's what happened. Because we copied it from the other one, so it thinks it needs to be on a trigger to work. And I think it's far enough away from the ride that it doesn't create any problems there. Okay. And then, of course, we got this guy over here. And he's looking for something to shoot at. He doesn't really know what he's shooting at. Oh, look at that. That looks so cool. I'm almost tempted to put another tentacle coming up out of the water here like he's shooting at it, but I mean, it's kind of getting heavy in here with the scenery and the animatronics. I don't really think we need more. Now, why are these guys on the island in the first place? Because they are burying treasure. So we got to get a treasure chest. All right? This is why they're here. Turn the angle snap off. Okay. And we want to lower this down a little bit. Kind of like they were digging a hole. Let's get into our terrain, our brush, and let's do push. We just kind of want to push this down a little bit. Okay, and then we want to repaint the sand. And then we want to go back to the rock. And just like right over here. Okay, so that's why they were there. They were burying some treasure. And if they're going to bury treasure, they need shovels. So let's see, where's a good spot for a shovel? That's an interesting alignment. Okay, and we'll just rotate it back till the handle starts to disappear. All right, there's a shovel. And there's another shovel. Okay, so they were digging treasure, and then the Kraken attacked them. And you can't really see the shovels that well, but that's okay. Let's see, from back here, can you see them? Not really. You can see them from over here. Like, oh, wow, these guys were burying some treasure. Oh, where can we see the treasure chest from? Well, easiest way to answer that question is to go down where the treasure chest is. We can see it from here and from over there. So So maybe if we had set it right here, it'd actually be better. But nah, this is okay. This is fine. So that's what it looks like from this angle, and that's pretty cool. I like it. Now let's go to the back side of this, and let's just let's fix this, right? Let's fix this. So we need to go to our terrain, and we need to push. Just get this all off of this thing here. Okay. Yeah, it's still awfully close. I think we need a slightly higher intensity. And yeah, it doesn't look safe. Okay, and then now we take our flatten to surface, and we just like go straight down the side here. So let's see. Yeah, that's not doing it as much as I want. There we go. That's better. And we kind of want this to go down even further. Yeah, okay, good. This looks good. So let's see. Oh, and then over here might be... Ooh, yeah. Danger. Whacky World is not responsible for loss of limb while riding. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I like that. And then we'll just paint this again. High intensity over here. Right, because we goofed it all up. And then low intensity with this one, and just real quick. And let's see what it looks like on this side. Did not get goofed up. Still looks good. I like it. I like it. And you can see what I was talking about. We can no longer see the Kraken. Maybe from like way over here we can. Yeah, we can see it from over here. Which, I don't know, maybe we want to close this off over here. Maybe, no, we don't want to close it off, because if you close it off, then it's like the Kraken's body is over here, but the tentacles are over here, and how does that work? So I don't think we want to close it off. I think we can leave it open. And where are they? Let's see what it looks like when he pops out. Yeah, okay. So maybe we'll we could always put like a shipwreck over here. Yeah, that's what we could do. We put a shipwreck over there. Yeah, that's where these pieces can come in. We'll use those. And so then it's like he crushed that ship, whatever it is. That works, right? That works good. So, and then you can also see now that these track supports, they're a little less obnoxious, because they're all stuck up here on top. So you're like, yeah, okay, that looks okay, instead of having them all jump into the water, which I thought was kind of stupid. Okay, now let's see. We want to get the lights, right? We want to get these lights. Okay, so we can delete... Oh, we can't delete them. Okay, we got to lift them up or something. What? Why is it way over there? I've only got one light selected. No, I got the tentacle too, that's why. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Where do we put this now to... Oh boy, where do we put this now? I think kind of like right there is actually kind of good. Actually, you know, I kind of like this one because it shows off the transition to the water. Yeah, okay, that looks good. I like that. Now there's another light in here somewhere. Okay, what do we do with this one? Okay, do we want to delete that one and just have the light from the fire? Yeah, I think we do. Okay, and there's another light over here. If we delete that one, then it's kind of dark over here where he is. So let's just take this one and let's just see where we can put it. Yeah, okay, this is kind of good. Just kind of creates this like mysterious glow. And then this one over here can actually move in a little bit that way, and then we'll duplicate this one. Yeah, okay, so let's see, what's that look like? Oh, that's cool. That's really neat. I mean, why is it all lit up like that? I have no idea. But it does look cool, right? That does look cool. That looks really cool. And let's look from over here. Yes, neat. Very neat. They've pulled their boat up onto the sand here, the rocky shoreline. And let's go look at it from the other side. Now, are there lights over here that we're not taking into account? Okay, there's this one. Okay, so what can we do with this one? Okay, and we got this one here, right? I think that's a good spot for that one, and then I think I want to push the terrain down just a little bit. Okay. A little bit more with the terrain. Oh, that was barely doing anything. Okay, let's see. So is that. And let's paint. Okay. You know, I think that's pretty good for this episode, but before we finish it, I think I want to go on the ride. I think I want to see what it looks like now that we've got all this cool stuff. I mean, it's looking a lot better, and we're still not done. We're still going to do stuff with some more of the boat pieces over here and a few other things, and I'll probably go through and trim out some of the track supports at one point. But let's pause it. And I want to add something over here so that there's like some sort of interesting element as they go by. I don't know what it would be. But let's go on this. And I'm not going to talk while we're on it. We'll just enjoy it. Yeah, that's kind of ugly, huh? Oh, that looks cool. It does. Okay, I'll shut up now. Okay, you know what? I like it. I think it's really good, but I think Mr. Kraken could get more up close and personal when he pops out. I think he seemed like he was kind of far away. Yeah, we want him like way up there. That's what we want. Oh, you know why? It's because I lowered him because his arms. Yeah, I remember. I lowered him down because his arms are cut off. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, see, like right there, his arms just stay in the water. But you know what? I think it's okay to let his arms pop out just a little bit. You're not going to notice it. How do we get in the face cam here? Nope. Pause. I want to get in the other train. Okay, here we go. I don't know. I feel like I got to play with the Kraken a little bit more off camera and get him positioned just right. But I think the ride overall is turning out really good. And then we'll build up this area at some point too, and it'll look really neat. Oh, and then we can't forget we got to decorate this queue. Well, over here and the coaster station. Man, this thing's taking forever, but it's going to be awesome when it's done. Okay, that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and have a great afternoon.